Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Madam Nikmalini. My name is Aida Fasihah binti Joha and my matric number A18A0517. Today, I will share regarding my industrial training at U-Almat Sdn Bhd located in Jengke, Pahang. This presentation starts with company background, followed by scope of exposure to students, contribution to company, suggestions for improvement, challenges task of execution, and lastly is added value in student knowledge. Okay, first is about company background. The name of the company is U-Almat Sdn Bhd, which is located at 22584 Jalan Intan Nadi Kota, 26400 Bandar Jengke, Pahang. This business was registered on 30 May 2005 and fully operational a year later on 2 September 2006. The type of the business for U-Almat Sdn Bhd is in-store shopping, and the head office for this business is in Jengke, Pahang. This business also have 3 branches, which is one in Jengke with name Mayumat, and the other 2 is in Kelantan, which is in Pasir Mas and Rantau Panjang. Then the number of employees U-Almat Sdn Bhd have 56 workers, which is Malay and Bangladeshi, which represent all the departments in the supermarket. This supermarket start their business from 8 a.m. until 10 p.m. 7 days per week. This business also a partnership business, which is there is 3 partner, which is Encik Saiful Bahari bin Muhammad Noor. The second is Puan Aminah binti Sanusi, and the last is Encik Muhammad Izwan bin Abdullah. This is all the departments involved at U-Almat Sdn Bhd. There are 8 departments, which is first is office, second security, cashier, sales assistant, also known as A, department receiving, inventory, purchasing, and the last is driver. Okay, all the department have their own role. For office, it serves to manage all the matters that related to the human resource and accounting. Then second is security. One of the role of security is to provide observation on the movement of customer in and out of the business premise. So for example, they need to make sure all the customers do not carry or wear prohibited items, such as wearing helmets when wanting to make a purchases. Next is cashier. All the cashier must provide the best service or treatment to the customer when they're making a payment. After that, sales assistant. Sales assistant need to inform the parties involved on the preparation of the goods, whether stock need to be added or not. Not only that, the assistant also must ensure that the items sold are always neatly arranged on the shelf. Then receiving is another department at U-Almat Sdn Bhd. It serves to receive stock of goods as stated in the purchase order (PO). This department also perform a task to record the item which is backstock or short supply in credit note, which is called CN. Besides inventory and purchasing. For inventory, staff in this department need to costing of an item based on the capital cost or capital price given by the supplier, while staff in purchasing department need to request information from the in charge for each line on the preparation of goods, whether stock need to be added or not. And lastly is driver, which is need to manage the delivery of goods to customers such as customer from school, cooperative, and so on. The next slide is a scope of exposure to students. From all the 8 departments, I only enter 4 departments, which is cashier, receiving, inventory, and office. In cashier, I learn how to deal with customer and need to recognize existing items. Then receiving, I able to know how to manage incoming orders, identify suppliers and goods carried, and able to learn how to manage return or short supply items. After that, Department of Inventory, I learn how to determine the price of good based on a given cost and how to update the price of good in the system. Office is the last department that I need to enter. In this department, I learn how to make payment check to existing suppliers. After that, contribution to company. During my industrial training, I have used all the knowledge that I learned during my study. Okay, for example, I told to the company to change the lighting to the better one. These changes can attract customers to buy more when making purchases. Second is help get the job done when there are not enough employees. For example, I will volunteer to pack frozen items or add items on the shelf. Next, suggestions for improvement. There are 5 suggestions for you all might Sindra Berhad. The first is expand the parking area. You all might Sindra Berhad need to add add more or expand the parking for motorbikes and cars to ensure more customer can uh, are able to make purchases at one time. This way is able to attract customer to continue making purchases at your Ahmad Sindra Berhad compared to making purchases with surrounding competitors such as EconSafe, Maidin, BS Freshmart, and Pasaraya Darul Makmur (PDM). Then the second is use a larger display rak. Your Ahmad Sindra Berhad need to take immediate action to replacing the display rak um, that have a larger size than the existing rak. This is aimed to increase the number of items that can be displayed to attract customers to make a purchases. Build a special store to to store to store all the stock is um the third suggestion for improvement to you all might send them Berhad. The parties involved only need to create one store space that can accommodate all the stock for each section in the supermarket. The store only need to be properly labeled as a sign of location isolation for each item. Then expand the frozen area and increase the number of employees. They need to add a little break for frozen goods area for the purpose of making segregation or imprisonment for every item present in the area. This way, we make it easier for the customer to proceed with the purchase more quickly. Lastly, is about the number of employees. They also need to add some workers or employee for a certain department to cover the job that need to do. Then the challenges of task execution. First is layer of all items. Items to store are limited because the space is not too wide or large. Second, challenges are when determining the price of goods. For example, raw materials we need to decide required margin to mark up the price of goods. And the last is difficult to identify the goods carried by the supplier. Uh, we will take time to remember each item which is brought by the supplier. The last thing for this presentation is about added value in student knowledge. The first added value that can help students in the real world is respect, which is respect each other in the company. Second is be independent, do tasks without being told, and the third is fair in carry out all the duties and do not practice partiality. That's all from me. Thank you.